How's it going, people? Welcome back to AFTV and welcome back to Box to Box. We've got a League Cup game this Wednesday night. I've got Chris with me. How's it going, Chris? You good?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah?
Look forward to the game on Wednesday. So yeah, buzzing.
Looking forward, as in confident, or?
I mean, I feel like we'll give you a good game.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna come in and say, oh yeah, we're gonna cause an upset, but yeah, I feel like we're gonna put in a good performance because we started the season well. So yeah, we'll see.
Before we get into all that, Chris, how did you start becoming a Wimbledon fan? Because Wimbledon hold a special place in my heart, and I'll get into that shortly. But how did you become a Wimbledon fan? Because you're mid-20s?
Yeah, that's right, 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad was born in Wimbledon, and then he started going early 80s, and then literally went from there. When I was growing up, I was sort of at school, and obviously Wimbledon weren't the biggest team, and obviously around that time is when the Milton Keynes stuff was happening. So he just started taking me to games, and then from there just grew to love it, and yeah, just got home and away now, and obviously I do the match day program, so it's just like,
oh yeah, Chris does the match day programs for Wimbledon as well, so
yeah,
you can't get any closer to Wimbledon than Chris at the moment.
No.
And you mentioned your dad going from the early 80s. Does that mean he went to that famous 88 final?
He did, yeah. He went to every round actually, even the replays. So yeah, fair play to him.
I bet you've heard those stories over and over.
I have, yeah. I've heard about the parties afterwards when we won.
Yeah.
Apparently there was like so many Liverpool fans. Like when you're a Wimbledon fan walking out of Wembley, you didn't want to go too crazy and celebrate too much until you were away from the stadium.
Yeah.
In case you got beaten up.
Because them times, obviously,
a bit more hostile. But yeah, no, he talks about it a lot, and he's still got like the program and all that. So it's unreal.
And I believe that's when the Crazy Gang was formed. I think, was it from a commentator saying the Crazy Gang beats the Culture Club or something along those lines?
Yeah, that's the famous words. I think it was formed like a couple of years before that. But yeah, it's mainly to do with Vinnie Jones, obviously, who everyone knows about. John Fashanu, Dennis Wise, who obviously went on to play for Chelsea and Millwall. So yeah, no, that's sort of when it started, and it sort of became like a brand, if you like.
That's exactly why I say it holds a special place in my heart, because growing up, Wimbledon was, it wasn't the greatest team, but there was something about them, and that Crazy Gang brand, Vinnie Jones, like you mentioned, Dennis Wise, Fashion, I think Marcus Gale was a part of that, Holdsworth even. I remember a few names from that era, and it was a shame what happened in the end, because as an Arsenal fan, I don't really know what happened. I don't really know what the cause of it was. Was it financial reasons that caused the collapse? And
essentially, like financial reasons, really. Sort of went into administration. We had like some Norwegian owners, but they sort of, I think, bought the club out and sort of had the ambitions to sort of. Well, they even tried to move it to Ireland at one point. Yeah. And then obviously Milton Keynes is like a pretty new city in the UK, and basically because Wimbledon were into administration, this guy called Pete Winkleman came along, saw an opportunity, used them as part of a property deal, and then formed what is now Milton Keynes.
Look at that, taking a club from Wimbledon all the way to
just
Milton
took it,
Keynes.
and then obviously the fans were just like, no, like can't be having that, and then just looked at starting again, and we've just gone upwards from then, mate.
Am I wrong in saying you played each other recently? Well,
we've played each other a few times. Haven't beaten them as many times as I would like, but yeah, no, it's certainly interesting when we play them. So can't say it's something that I look forward to, because it's not like a normal rivalry. It's a lot more than that. There's some people who can't even be asked, like, don't even want to go to the games. But it's just one of those things, and
a reminder of history. That's
it. I think it's more of a bad reminder for them, to be honest, because they're still holding on to our nickname, which is a bit strange.
It's actually crazy what happened, and that's why I wanted to start off there, because you know, a lot of young Arsenal fans who might have missed that era. This might be just any game, and this is the first time we're playing each other following that, breakup, move, whatever you want to call it. And you're back in League One.
Yes.
Slowly but surely. Are you confident of maybe, taking the next step up in the next few years?
I think so. We've lost 2 league games so far this season.
Yeah, but in the table.
But in the table, we're 7th place right now. At one point, we'd scored the most goals out of any team in the top 4 divisions. Yeah. I think it was 22 goals at that point. Don't know if we're still there now, but we started really well. We've got the youngest team in League One. Okay. So, I think a lot of people get excited when a player comes through the academy. But that's something that we're sort of built on. And
Arsenal fans know how much that means as well. Look at Emile Smith Rowe and Saka right now. The youth is a key part of tradition at a football club.
Well, that's it, and it makes you feel a lot more connected to the team. I know when you're in the Premier League, obviously you have a lot of foreign players, and that's cool, and it's good when they make connections with the team. I think Hector Bellerin's a great example for you guys. The way he's sort of integrated into North London culture, he's got a bit of a London accent as well.
One thing like Bellerin as a football player, I don't like. But Bellerin, in terms of his integration into London and, you know, getting used to his surroundings and, you know, the London accent. He integrated quite well.
It's like he's lived there his whole life, basically. I know he came over when he was 21. But anyway, back to Wimbledon, sorry. Going off topic. But started the season really well. We've got a manager who's doing the right things, looking to be progressive at our level. We've got things like a restarts coach, which is like set pieces coach. We've even got a substitutions coach, which I've never heard of before.
Nah, not about it.
Apparently it makes a massive difference. It's just a lad called Sammy Lander. I'm giving him a shout out here. He
went to do it, and
he done it at a non-league club, Weymouth, and then he got in contact with us just through LinkedIn and basically said, done the presentations to the coaching team, and we just took him on. And no one else, as far as I know, in English football has one.
He's doing a good job at the moment.
Yeah, so we're very forward-thinking. Not so much like the crazy gang anymore. We don't play long ball, play more possession.
You're missing a Vinnie Jones essay.
Missing a Vinnie Jones. Oh, we've got a few in there who can put a few tackles in. Not too many red cards though, hopefully. But
not with VAR about it. You've got to be careful nowadays.
Yeah, but we're back at Plough Lane. We're in our new stadium, and it's brilliant. Like every home game's been rocking. So just excited.
You mentioned how many goals you've scored. Are you a free flowing side? Are you very much attack orientated?
Yeah, well, goals have come from all areas. Will Nightingale, our centre back, he scored 4 goals already.
Okay,
So that's like 4 goals in 8 games?
It's mad.
It's all competitions.
Is that part of the set piece culture as well, do you think?
Yeah. Well, a couple of his goals were basically like carbon copies. So the free kick would go into the back post and then he'd somehow run free and just head it in. So it's clearly something we've been working on. Set piece coach obviously plays a big part in that. Yeah,
listen, Arsenal, we're getting some insider knowledge here. Back post, header, centre back scored 4 in 8 games. Don't let it happen against us this Wednesday night. So you're free flowing. You know, when you look at Arsenal, we've only scored 2 goals in the opening 5 games. Lost our first 3 without scoring, but won our last couple, albeit 1-0 wins against Norwich and Burnley. But I always like to get an opposition fan's perspective, and this is the first time I'd be getting a perspective from a fan of a lower league club. But I love it because it's unbiased, you know. You don't have much of an affiliation with Arsenal, and it's just outside looking in. What do you make of Arsenal so far this season?
I think it's an interesting one. I'll be honest. So obviously I'm good mates with James, as you know, and I remember saying to him, I think, you know, I don't want to be too harsh, but I thought Arteta should have gone at the end of last season.
Do you mean Europa League semi-final and what he done there?
Well, I think I look more at the league.
Okay, well, 8th place finish, and I think, it all,
not qualifying for Europe. I just don't think that's what you're about anymore, to be honest. Like, you know, when I think of Arsenal, I think back to when you had David Dean as part of the setup. You know, obviously.
And he was in with the FA like that, and a lot of people would complain about Arsenal holding weight in FA and UEFA. David Dean was part.
But people were like scared of you, scared to play you. I don't feel like that's the case anymore. But
it's the opposite now.
It's the opposite now, yeah, exactly. And I think that's why you've got so many people who are unhappy in the fan base. And I understand that because, you know, Arsenal were like an institution, the Arsenal. Like, people hated to go to Highbury. Whereas now they go to the Emirates and they feel like they can get a result.
And I think as we do these box to boxes, you know, Man City and Chelsea is one thing, but having spoken to a Brentford fan, a Norwich fan, Burnley fan, and now you, Chris, you can kind of tell things have changed because there's more optimism, you know, across from me. There's more confidence that something can happen. A major upset might, you know, when I spoke to the Brentford fan at the start of the season, he said if you asked me what game I would love to start the season with, it would have been a Big 6 team and it would have been Arsenal or Tottenham because they can imagine a scalp, they can imagine a major upset. And that's exactly what happened. So how confident are you on Wednesday that you can get the job done?
Well, obviously you got the small matter of playing Spurs at the weekend after, so I kind of hope that you're going to make a few changes.
I agree with that. Personally speaking, I'd expect to see some changes, but at the same time, I think consistency is a big thing. And without European football this season for Arsenal, I think, listen, on one hand, I'll say consistency. On the other hand, he goes with, let's say, Thomas Partey, Saka, and some of the regulars, and one of them get injured. We ain't got the depth in quality to lose a particular player and go into that Tottenham game with the same confidence we might have now. So I do expect changes, but I'd expect like the Leno in for Ramsdale and some minor tweaks. Lacazette might come in for Aubameyang and so on because we haven't seen him for the last couple. Who should we be worried about as Arsenal fans?
Ubasal, who I was talking to Cecil about earlier. No, he's only 19 and he's come through our academy.
Was he number 10 attacking mid?
Number 10, sort of more of a support striker really. We've sometimes played him a little further forward in like sort of a front two. Played 2 different formations this season, so we've played sort of a 4-4-2 sort of diamond. And then sometimes we switch into 4-3-3, and then we've done 3 at the back.
Yeah.
So
we've had a few ourselves. This season. We've had 3, so
that's it. I mean, I think every team needs to have different formations.
In the modern day, it seems like
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'd say Ubasal, Jack Rudoni, if he's fit, he didn't play at the weekend. He's got a little injury. He's a great player. Left-footed. I always find left-footed players are always technically.
They always look better on the ball, don't they?
Better on the ball, that kind of thing. And then Aaron Presley from Brentford's good striker that we got on loan. We've got a really good relationship with them. Actually, we get a few players on loan each season. Yeah. But there's quite a lot. Like I don't want to big them up too much.
But you said you got a young team, so
we got a young team.
Yeah.
I think our oldest player's 28. So
okay, very young team.
There you go.
What about Arsenal? Who are you worried about from Arsenal? Obviously, we don't know the lineup yet, and we can only assume. But is there any particular players you wouldn't want to see?
Obviously Saka and Smith Rowe, I think, to be fair. I just think they're brilliant, both brilliant, technically brilliant. Can either pop up out wide or through the middle in the half spaces between the lines. So yeah, those 2. Obviously Aubameyang, that's something that really used to annoy me, and you sort of do it now still. You play him left wing, he's like one of the best finishers in the league. Put him in the 6-yard box. He scores 20 goals a season easy if you give him the right service.
And that's been the problem, the service. That's been a big problem. We'll cross in, no one's in the box. People are in the box, we're not crossing. It's one or the other, it doesn't really make sense.
I think Tierney as well. I think he's been brilliant signing for you guys since he came in.
One of our best.
Yeah, one of your best, and he's solid defensively as well, which is, I think, it's quite hard to find in the fullback nowadays.
Yeah, and you know what's hard to find in football nowadays is quality is one thing, but mentality and character is a whole other. And I think in this day and age, not only in football, but mentality and character has been lost in a sense. Whereas Tierney has that in abundance. He has quality on the pitch, but he's also got the mentality and character off it to improve on the pitch in turn. And that's why I love Kieran Tierney. You're gonna have to help me out here, Chris, because I like to do key battles every time I talk about an opposition. Like against Burnley, I picked out Chris Wood against Ben White being a key battle, and Lukaku against our defenders at Chelsea. So I don't know too much about the Wimbledon side. What would you say from your perspective is a key battle?
I think as I was talking to you before we came on air about set pieces, we take long throws and we send both centre backs up for the long throws. So I think that's going to be a key battle when our centre backs come up against your centre backs. Any sort of deliveries in and around your goalkeeper, Ramsdale and Leno, I think they're sort of slightly different keepers. I reckon Leno would be under a little bit more pressure if you put in the right delivery.
Well, with Ramsdale, I haven't seen much of Ramsdale. I've seen him the last few games for Arsenal, and at the game against Burnley, one thing I liked about him is he was very commanding of his box. He'd go for crosses, he'd win it, and he wouldn't drop the ball. He obviously played for you guys for a year as well. What's your opinion of Ramsdale?
Oh, I love him. Top bloke off the pitch, on the pitch, fantastic. Came in, made an impact straight away. Just came in as a loanee, and we kind of thought,
By impact, do you mean as in quality, or do you mean leadership and that too? Or?
Quality, you could tell he's far too good for League One.
Oh yeah.
I think the game where everyone sort of realised just how good he was when we beat West Ham in the FA Cup, being 4-2.
Yeah.
Just around the time Pellegrini got sacked. Well, soon after that, obviously that played a part in it. But he played in that game, and some of the saves he was making was unbelievable. He made a double save from Antonio. And one of the saves reminded me of Peter Schmeichel. The sort of starfish when he comes out, closes down the ball. Done one of them, like unreal. And then from then on, his form was like so key to keeping us up.
And he's had 3 clean sheets in his first few games for us. And now you mentioned the long throws, as much as I just talked about Leno potentially playing for, I'd actually like to see Ramsdale go up against that, because it's a different test, and I'd like to see how he copes with that test. With Leno, it looks like he's on his way out of the club slowly but surely. So if Ramsdale is the future number one, or current and future number one, then a Wimbledon game might be an interesting one to put him out there and face up against.
Good test for him, for sure.
So you also mentioned free-flowing goals, but then when I asked you about the key battles, you mentioned the set pieces. what is your primary avenue to attack? Is it, in the air, or is it along the, because free-flowing football and goals you tend to associate with, transition on the floor and so on?
I'd say it's set pieces, to be honest. Like, even though we're free-flowing, we are a bit of both, to be fair. And I think you have to be, like we were saying about formations earlier, you have to be versatile. And set pieces, we've scored a lot of goals for set pieces this season. I'm not sure on the exact number, but it's a lot. We've got to be the highest in League One for scoring for set pieces. So it's clearly a good threat that we have. Yeah. But in terms of free-flowing, we like to keep possession. Don't know how much possession we're going to have against Arsenal, but we're just going to go there and play our game. No disrespect to you guys, but just because you're in the Premier League doesn't mean we're not going to go there and just roll over and lose 5-6-0.
Look at the game you just mentioned, 4-2 against West Ham.
Yeah.
If you went in with that mentality, that wouldn't have happened. So you've got to believe. And Chris, on the topic of belief, let's get into some predictions.
Go for it.
I'll start.
Sure.
I think we'll win the game. I think we'll see some changes. As much as I'd like to see Ramsdale against the long throws, I think we'll see Leno. But I think even with the changes, we should have enough. We're at home. I'm wary of the Wimbledon threat, considering the amount of goals scored. And now talking to you about the set pieces and the long throws too, it'll be interesting to see how this Arsenal team combat that. Arsenal teams of the past, long throws and set pieces, we've crumbled against. This starting 11 that I've seen in the last couple of games, it's been fresh.
Yeah.
But then again, against Wimbledon, we might see a Holding or Chambers back in the centre-back pairing, and then it becomes, we've seen this before. I'm going to go 3-1 Arsenal, and I think it'd be a hard-fought 3-1.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get the job done. What do you think?
I expect you to win, obviously. I just think your quality will shine through in the end.
Yeah.
I hate writing off my own team, but I think it will be close. I think we might be drawing at half-time.
Okay, yeah.
I think the longer we stop you guys from scoring, the more a chance that we might actually cause an upset.
I agree, because the pressure will build upon our
shoulders.
I
can imagine you guys in the stands getting frustrated.
Yeah.
And we got an allocation of 9,000. We've sold a good 3/4 of it already.
Yeah.
So I like to think the atmosphere we're going to bring as well will drive on our players. So I'm going to go for 2-1.
2-1 win, yeah? Yeah, right.
Not win. Oh, no 2-1 win to you guys.
Okay.
To you guys.
Okay, but you know what? It's better to be surprised than disappointed.
That's it.
That's how I see it with predictions. A lot of people call me negative for my Arsenal predictions, but if you look at where Arsenal have gone over the years, I'd rather be surprised than be disappointed. But here I am predicting the 3-1 win, maybe setting myself up for disappointment, but I hope not. People, Chris, where can they find you at?
So I'm on Twitter at _ChrisThorpe_.
At @ChrisThorpe_. It's in the description below as well. So if you want to go support Chris as well over there, does the Wimbledon programme.
That's it.
And you're a journalist as well.
I am, write for Football League World. So a lot of stuff about the Championship, League One and League Two.
Yeah.
But obviously big fan of my Premier League football as well. So I've been watching some of you guys against Burnley to see what we're in for. So yeah.
Are you at the game Wednesday?
I am, got my ticket through the post the other day. So excited. First time on the away end at the Emirates. I've been to 2 games there before. Drew against Wolves and then lost against Spurs in the League Cup, so I probably shouldn't mention that one.
The Emirates is one thing, but I'll ask you that about Highbury and the differences there.
I will.
All right, Chris. So if you're at the game, pop over, do a fan cam after with Robbie. I won't be there. I'll be doing the watch along here. I'll give your thoughts after the game, win, lose or draw. And like I said, people in the description below, at @ChrisThorpe_ on Twitter.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Love, people, love. Hit the like button and let us know your thoughts and comments below, predictions, lineups, all of that. And we'll be back for the game.